Do it here. Hey, what's going on, guys? Dino Gomez here, and welcome to the Dynamic 365 Six Figure SEO podcast. We have a really awesome show lined up for you guys today. So, in today's show, we are sitting down with the man himself, Gregory Ortiz. Greg, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we're excited to learn more about you, Greg, and what you have going on. So yeah, let's start all the way back at the beginning, Greg. Yeah, maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how long you've been doing SEO, and what everybody likes to know is how you got into SEO. Because it's not something you really go to college for and you get a education for. So it's always interesting to see and learn how people transition or make their way into the industry. So yeah, I would love to hear kind of how you got started.
Sure, and it's a good thing for us that they don't teach it in college because then there's less competition in the first place.
That's right. That's right. That's
Yeah,
a, that's
so
a, that's a really good point right there.
so I've been doing SEO a little over 7 months now, and the way I got started actually was I was sick and tired of working my day job, and it was the kind of thing where it's like, you know what, I have my son, he's 3 years old, I want to spend more time with him, want to spend more time with my wife, and I'm sick and tired of working 60 plus hours a week every single week at work. There has to be something more than this. Even though it pays well, I don't want to do this anymore. So then I said to myself, okay, well, I'm really good at making websites, which is something I've done since I was younger. So let me make a website about something, try to make a business out of it. So I did. I was browsing Reddit one day and I saw someone had put together a way that they actually started their entire own cleaning company, step by step. So I said to myself, well, this sounds kind of cool. They're outsourcing people who are the cleaners. They don't do it themselves. All the hardest aspect that everyone struggled with that I would read of other people trying to do the case study were building their websites. So for me, I said, oh, well, check one. I already know how to do that. If that's the hardest part, then I think I'll be okay. So sure enough, I built the website, and it was doing okay. I mean, I had Yelp listings that were doing well. I was doing Yelp ads, many different ways of trying to drive traffic, and I was getting people who were booking cleanings. But it was the kind of thing where I'm like, you know what, this should be doing much better than it is right now. Like my website is a million times better than everyone else's. Why am I not getting more traffic? So obviously I knew I wasn't on the first page for any of the terms I wanted to be. So I said, well, you know what, let me focus on traffic, not so much rankings. How do I get more traffic? So then I started looking it up. Sure enough, it came out that it's SEO. SEO is what helps to get you more traffic. And I said, okay, well, that also helps with the rankings. Makes sense. Kind of goes hand in hand. So let me do a little bit of research. So I did, and I found Alex Becker actually through doing some research. And funny enough, within, God, I want to say it was that day, maybe if not the next day, he was holding a webinar where he was introducing everyone into another group, OMG. And I was blown away by all the details of everyone in OMG was doing. And I said, you know what, this sounds like something amazing. Like, if I want to change my life, I need to actually change my life. Like, it doesn't matter that this may be out of my price range at the moment. This is something I need to do. So I went ahead, I charged it on a credit card, and I was scared because I said, my wife is going to kill me. because OMG has a very strict no refund policy. So I'm like, my wife is going to kill me. This is going to be a disaster if I don't make this work. So knowing that, I said to myself, okay, I need to make this work. I need to make it work for my wife, but also for my son and for myself. I need to be able to make this business work. And by business, I'm obviously referring to the cleaning company. So I'm like, you know what? I need to make this work. How is this going to happen? So what I went ahead and did was I said to myself, okay, they have a payment plan. It's about $500 a month, so I need to at least make $500 per month off of it. So one of the modules in there was like client consulting, and I said, okay, well, they're landing clients. Let me try to get a client for $500. That way I could cover my costs. Sure enough, in the first month I did, and from that point forward, I've never looked back. I don't even pay. I stopped paying attention completely to that cleaning company that I had tried starting, just because this was not only so much more profitable, but it was way more fun being able to actually say I brought something to the top of Google. People are searching for stuff and they're finding what I bring up there to the first page, and knowing that I'm helping to change clients' lives. Like, having clients, you're able to build their business up, and you know that, yeah, you're helping them and also helping yourself make money, but at the end of the day, you're helping them put food on their family's table. So to me, it meant so much more having a family myself.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of how I got started with SEO in the first place. I mean, it was real eye opener for me, and it was exciting, and everything fell into place, thankfully. But at first, I was super scared. I was like, oh my God, this is not going to work. My wife is going to kill me. I need to do something, but I can't stay doing the same thing the rest of my life. So I took the big dive, and
Right, right. Yeah, and
yeah.
then that you get that statement on the credit card charge. She's probably not gonna recognize it, the OMG statement or something like that. You could have,
Yeah. The
you
funny thing is, since I made the client before the statement came in, I told her about it. She was a little upset, but she's like, ah, well, you paid for it or whatever. Now, when she mentions it, she just laughs. She's like, remember when you thought I would be upset about OMG payment? I'm like, yeah, it's a little ridiculous now. But back then, yeah, it was like the scariest thing in the world to me. I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna divorce me if she finds this.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it just sounds sketchy, almost like you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. I won't say particularly, but so that's great. So that's an interesting beginning because a lot of people. I mean, you took massive action real quickly. You went out there, you found like mentors and other people that were going to show you, how to do SEO and different strategies, and so you really, accelerated your learning curve. Where, other people we've interviewed, they say that, they maybe started off building their own website and were doing SEO on their own site, and several years go by before they would really jump into signing their first client or really taking action like you did there, Greg. So that's interesting to note, and that's really cool that you're taking off so quickly, and like you said, that you're able to enjoy your work and help your clients grow their business, and then also put food on the table for their kids. So, well, yeah. So let's move on to the next question here. So you landed that first SEO client. It's always the toughest one. And I mean, what was your strategy for landing that first client? And then everybody wants to know. It's basically the number one question. I'm sure you hear it all the time. I mean, how are you landing new clients?
Well, I'll get into how I landed the first client in the first place. So it was very funny. Like I said, I was trying to build my own cleaning company business. So I was testing everything I was learning on the cleaning company. And funny enough, I got it ranked first page for the national term apartment cleaning. So as soon as I did that in my first month, because I literally did it probably within 2 weeks, I said, okay, I have this, they're ranked. Let me reach out to other people in this niche, see if they're interested. So I did, reached out to two people. The first one was interested, so was the second. Ended up selling it to the first, but it was more along the lines of, hey, I have a site that's ranking for apartment cleaning, national term, not even apartment cleaning New York or anything, just apartment cleaning. It does rank for apartment cleaning NYC and other stuff too, but apartment cleaning it ranks for. Would this be something you're interested in? Would you like to get all the people who call for this company sent directly to you? And of course, they were both like, absolutely. And that's how I landed the first client in the first place, just testing it on my site as I was learning. So I took action. I didn't just sit there, watch videos and videos, take notes and notes and notes, and then tried doing it to a website. I was literally doing it with the video. Like as the video was doing A, I was doing A at the same time. As it was doing B, I was doing B. Like I literally did it step by step, side by side, and it just worked out for the best, thankfully, at the time. So that's how I landed that first client. As far as new clients, I'm in a fortunate situation where since I do rank for like New York City SEO #1, NYC SEO #1, a bunch of other rankings, I have a lot of people who call me, so I don't even search for them anymore. It's more along the lines of I'm getting calls to me, and that's what I'm getting most of my clients that actually come aboard. It's because they look for me. So I can be a little bit picky and choosy on which clients I want, which ones I don't want to work with. And if I need to fire a client, I do it without even thinking because I know there's going to be another one calling me tomorrow. But starting out, it was more about me ranking that first site, getting that client. And the ones I started to get after that before I ended up ranking #1 was that client brought me a bunch of referrals. So it was like they knew how great of a job I was doing for them. So they referred me to other friends and businesses that they knew. And that's how I kind of started to grow at the beginning.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you hear how big referral marketing is in the SEO industry, but that's awesome that you're putting your expertise to practice. You have the inbound leads coming in. Like you said, you can be more choosy and picky when you're doing it for your own site. It's kind of proof that you are an expert at what you do, and it probably makes closing the clients much easier. They come in, through your website, and you're already proving that you're beating out other SEOs in your city. So So yeah, that's a great strategy. That makes a ton of sense. All
Yeah,
right, so
when it comes particularly to closing them, I actually make it sound to them like I'm congratulating them on hiring me, because like at the end of the day, all of us who do SEO, we're the experts. Like they're reaching out for us. And my whole mind frame that I've always had, even before I started having like a bunch of clients, is I need, I don't need them, they need me. And if that's one thing that I can impart to anyone else that's, listening to this, it's at the end of the day, you have a specific talent that not that many other people have. Just as you said at the beginning, they don't teach this in school. They don't teach this in college, and there's so much misinformation about it online in the first place that it's a highly, highly sought after skill. So, like don't beat yourself down if you don't land the first couple of clients. There's always going to be more. Someone always needs more traffic to their website. Someone always needs more leads. Someone always needs help with conversion. And if you're able to provide that, you'll always have a job.
and that's a great point you just made. That mentality right there that that you're the one, they're choosing you, and that they're fortunate enough to work with you as an expert in an industry where there's not necessarily an abundance of experts. That is a really, really good point, and I'm sure a ton of people listening in will really take that to heart, and that's a great positioning strategy as well. That you kind of congratulate them, and so on your website, do you have the apply here rather than the contact us form to kind of set the tone that they're applying to work with you rather than they're just contacting you?
Yeah, actually, one of my best friends, Cotton Grammar, he showed a bunch of us in the OMG group his what he refers to as a discovery form, which I now see more and more on various people's websites. But it did start with him, and thank you, Cotton, for that. It's a form that they fill out, and it's very in detail. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it's way more than just your name, your email, tell us what you're looking for. Like it literally outlines in the beginning, we only work with legitimate businesses. If you're looking for quick get rich schemes, we're not for that. If you're looking for gambling, if you're looking for porn, we won't do that. So you're kind of like letting the people know at the beginning, like, wow, this person is different. They're choosing to let me know who they want to work with. Like they must have so many clients coming to them that they are picking between them. It's kind of like you're literally making them feel like they're applying for your company as opposed to like you're applying to do SEO for them, if that made sense. But
Right,
but
right.
that's essentially what it is. Yeah, I have a discovery form. I do have a contact us form on there too. I just keep it kind of old school on there, but it's not highlighted anywhere. I mean, it's there. People can click on it. I very rarely get contacted through it directly. 9 times out of 10, it's either going to be through the discovery form or through a phone call. And when they do call me, I tell all of them, hey, just so you know, I'm very busy. My time is limited, and I just want to let you know I won't be able to help you or do anything for you until you fill out my form, because it gives me a better overall understanding of your business. And it kind of pushes back to them where they're kind of like, well, man, I took my own time out to call this guy, and he still won't even talk to me until I fill out his form. I better apply because he must be like the real deal. So it's kind of framing the customer. And Cotton is a complete genius at doing this in the first place. Like the way he thought about it, it's absolutely genius, and it's worked quite successfully for myself and many other people I know as well.
Awesome. And yeah, and it sounds like you took it one step further there by, like you said on the phone, having them go back and fill out that form if they haven't done so already. So,
Yeah,
love that
absolutely.
extra tip you gave there. We really appreciate that. So let's see here. So one of the questions we always ask is, I mean, what type of SEO professional would you consider yourself to be? I mean, we kind of, it sounds like we kind of already know you're doing client-based SEO, but are you, I mean, are you also dabbling in affiliate? Do you just do local? Um, are you going in a specific vertical or niche, or are you kind of just, going after any type of, general SEO client, whether they're local or national?
Yeah, for me, it really doesn't matter as far as the niche goes. I mean, I started with cleaning company because that's what I was trying to practice with at the beginning. But for me, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, it's all about who's willing to pay what my minimum is. And as far as if it's not anything that I don't consider ethical, then I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I don't consider many things not non-ethical. So I have no problem taking anyone's business as long as I'm okay with it in the first place, and they seem like they're going to be a great client. So niche relevant doesn't really matter to me. I do a lot of client consulting, obviously. I have dabbled in affiliate. It's something that's relatively new to me, but it's been great so far, and I've had some success with it. There's one vendor in particular. I'm his number one affiliate. And then as far as lead gen, that's also something I've dabbled into recently, and I've had some success with as well. As far as selling back leads to businesses.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Um, well, love it. Okay, so yeah, like you said, not a particular niche, but kind of going after just being real picky on the clients you want to work with, making sure that, like you said, it'd be enjoyable to work with them and to talk with them on a consistent basis. Um, all right. Well, yeah, it's always interesting to hear what people are doing. You hear some people are all in one vertical and they swear by it, and otherwise you can mix and match. And so,
Yeah, for me, I'm a big fan of multiple streams of income. Like the old saying goes, don't put your all your eggs in one basket. Like I'm not a fan of that at all. Like client consulting will always be great forever, I believe anyway. But that's not the only source of income I want to get. I want to try other things. Like I won't do just affiliate. I won't do just client consulting. I'll do both. I also am one of the largest PBN sellers on all of SEO. And I have that business as well. So I try to get as much business as possible from all these different sources, because not only does it help round me out a little bit better and actually help me get more contacts than I would if I stood in one specific area of money making, but it also helps build my brand better overall. So I'm not limited to just one aspect. Like if a client calls me and they say to me, like once again, this could be a client who's saying, hey, I have this business and I want to sell my product. Right then and there, the affiliate side of me can also kick in, where I'm then able to offer them help as far as their affiliate aspect goes. Where if I didn't have that skill previously, it's kind of like, oh, well, I can rank your site and that's all I know. So now I can actually kick it up a notch and offer them other services and other add-ons in the first place.
right, right, and I love that. And well, that's a good point, because it's kind of like conversion optimization. I mean, you can get your client on the first page of Google, but if their site, isn't converting for them, then you're not actually growing their business. And so I know you mentioned
Hmm.
conversion optimization at the start of the conversation, so I knew that was
Yeah.
something that you looked at as well, which is awesome. But yeah, love that you're differentiating your profile, like you said, different streams of income. And speaking of, okay, so you said you're one of the largest PBM providers online right now, and so people always wonder when you're growing a business and you have different projects going on, are you just a one-man team, or do you have virtual assistants, contractors? I mean, what's kind of like your system for scaling your business, your SEO business here?
So for me, primarily, it's been me myself doing everything. Just because I can be a bit of a perfectionist sometimes. Like I know it kind of sounds funny, where it's like I dive in head first to take massive action, which I do, but at the same time, I don't just dive in, flailing wildly. At the same time, I try to make sure it's as perfect as it can be as I'm doing it as quickly as possible. So because I do have that bit of perfectionist in me, I have issues trusting not necessarily trusting, but believing other people can do certain aspects the way I want them to be done. And it's my own personal struggle that I've been fighting with within my business to help it scale a little bit larger. So I've never used VAs in the past until very recently. And as far as my PBM business goes, I've always done it just myself. I've been the one who, gets the domains, finds them, sells them, transfers them to the client's account, goes ahead, keeps track of all the expenses, like doing everything. Then I started offering a service where it's like done for you PBNs, where it's like I'll literally send them the site, but I'll also build the site to make it look nice. And it was great. It was fun. It helped me bring me back to my old web design days, but it took so much time. It's like all this time I'm spending is taken away from other aspects of my business. So what I did was I actually leveraged my wife, funny enough, and I, yeah, and I
Family
taught,
business, I love it.
exactly. And then I taught her more advanced web design. Like she knew the basics because she had her own fashion blog and she had been experimenting with websites for a bit now, but because it's something we used to connect on before. But I went ahead and taught her a more advanced level of it, so she was able to actually handle all that aspect. So all of the built for you PBN she was taking care of. But now the business is growing so quickly where it's like the two of us can't do it. So I went ahead and finally hired my first VA for when it comes to helping build up the websites and everything else like that. I plan to eventually, I want to say honestly, probably within the next 2 to 3 months, have the whole process where most of it is hands off for me anyway, where I have a team that's just taking care of everything. And that's something that I'm trying to scale the business to now, because then it helps to put my time towards other projects that I can get off the field. Like right now, since it is such a large machine, so to speak, it's doing well. So I know I can kind of let it go now. I've built it to where I want it to be. I just need to put the right people to do the things that I want them to. And I know it'll just continue to do well. And then I can focus on building another machine and having that run off.
I love it. I love it, man. It sounds like you're doing big things, and well, we know you are, and so that kind of leads us right into our next question, because everybody wants to know when you're sitting on the outside, you're deciding whether you want to make the plunge, kind of like where you were. I think you said about 7 months ago when you're considering getting into SEO and making money online. I mean, how much money, if you don't mind me asking, how much money are you currently making right now with SEO?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind answering. I don't have an exact number right now because we're in the middle of the month. However, my projection is going to be where I've actually made the past 3 months. So, for the past 3 months, I've made over $40,000 per month. Less than 50, but it's between 40 and 50 for the past 3 months. This month, I'm already projected to do within that range too. That's also one of my big, I guess, kind of focuses is cracking that $50,000 mark. It's kind of what helped me want to scale the business more and actually hire other people, like I was saying previously, because I noticed I'm kind of stuck at a cap. And while it is a good cap, I guess in some regards, to be stuck at $40,000 a month, I can't leverage more time. Like I can't get more time myself. So that's why I'm going to start leveraging other people to hopefully start bringing it above the $50,000 per month. But obviously, suffice to say, my wife is excited about the amount of money I'm making off of it. As far as profit goes, I'm operating right now at an 87% profit margin. So most of the money being made is actual profit, which has been great. And we actually just finished signing a contract a few months ago for our mortgage for our house. So it's being built from scratch in Delaware. And it's something that I affectionately refer to as the house that OMG built, because that's where I started. That's where I learned SEO. And this SEO money is actually having me build a house for my family, which is the greatest thing I've ever done other than actually having my son. So
That is just wild. And so for me to repeat that, you're closing in on 50K a month.
mhm.
SEO is allowing you to build a brand new home from scratch in Delaware. It sounds like you're getting ready to move soon. You have your wife working with you. You get to work from home now, and I know you're a super busy man. But I mean, this is completely changing your life. This jumping into SEO, and that happened so quickly, just in 7 months' time. It's just absolutely wild. I'm sure people listening in right now, I mean, that their wheels, I mean, their heads got to be just spinning just thinking about that. I mean, that is just a dream come true. So
Yeah,
congrats to you, Greg, on all your success so far, man. It's a ton of fun to sit here and talk with you and just and go over all this. It's just incredible.
thank you very much. Yeah, I literally feel like half the time, actually not even half, I want to say probably 3/4 of the time, that this isn't real. Like it feels like it's a dream, and I just feel very, very fortunate. Like obviously I work hard, I work nonstop. And just to actually correct you on something, I work from home doing SEO. However, I still, funny enough, have a day job. And most people wonder, well, why does this guy have a day job if he's making so much money? And the primary reason is because of getting my mortgage. The mortgage company requires that if it is your own business, you have to have it in business for 2 years at least to show consistent income. And obviously, I've only been doing it for 7 months. So I have to maintain my day job until I get the closing done on the house. But the minute we close on the house, I'm done. I'm out of there. See you later. I'm working straight from home 24/7. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I'm sure you're setting yourself up with a pretty sweet office too, right?
oh yeah, gonna have whiteboards galore, huge screens. I can't wait. It's gonna be exciting.
Awesome. You said you're gonna have the green screen in there, shoot some video.
Yep, everything. I can't wait.
Awesome, man. That's just incredible.
Mhm.
Well, let's see what we have here. I mean, okay. Well, so you've only been doing this 7 months. and we know you have this new house under construction. You're going to have this awesome office space. You're there with your wife and your son. You're officially getting to have your plans all set to leave your 9 to 5 type job and do this full time. So I mean, going back, if you had any recommendations to somebody who's sitting on the fence right now and they're deciding whether or not they really want to jump into this, and I mean, what would you tell them? I mean, because everybody, it's not an all or nothing thing. You can ease your way into SEO until you have enough side income to feel comfortable leaving your job. And do you have any kind of like last second recommendations on what you would tell somebody about the
Absolutely.
potential jumping into SEO?
Absolutely. The first thing I would say to someone who's sitting on the fence is stop sitting on the fence. Just take action. What is the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen, I believe, is you lose some money that you invested to potentially learn a new skill that could change your life. And if that's the worst that happens, I think that's actually pretty good. There are people who lose far more for much less. And, like if it's I can speak from experience. It's literally changed my life. I know many people who it's literally changed their lives as well. And that's not to say that there aren't people who've come into this and have failed. Of course, that happens all the time, but that's the same thing with anything else in life and anything else in business. But as long as you go in it and you truly, truly try your best and you really believe you're going to succeed, the only thing that can stop you is yourself. Just go for it. Take action. Stop analyzing everything. I see so many people who spend hours and hours and hours analyzing data, data, data. Well, the data is great, and I would analyze data all day if the data was my bank account. Because at the end of the day, if you analyze data all day, it's not going to pay your bills. It's not going to change your life. You need to actually go ahead and take some action. And the biggest thing I see between beginners, and I help plenty of beginners, especially within the group, is a lot of people have analysis paralysis. They're like, I know all the theory, I know what I need to do, but I feel like I'm missing something else. Well, why don't you just take action, and when you figure out what you're missing, then you get that key point or that key part that you're missing. But some people are like, oh well, I need to have 100% of everything before I begin. Well, in SEO, that'll never happen. The algorithms update all the time. Everything changes all the time. You literally have to roll with the punches every single week, if not every single day, because you're always competing against other people who are doing SEO. You're competing against Google. You're competing against so many different aspects out there where it's like, what are you waiting for? Because if you're waiting for the perfect storm, that's never going to happen. You have to create your own. So stop sitting on the fence and start taking some action.
Well said, Greg. Well said, man. That's
Thank you.
exactly it right there. Like you said, in this industry, it's always changing. People just need to go out there and make moves, and good things will happen. And if not, you got to keep plugging away. And at some point, you're gonna get that breakthrough, and it's gonna be that much easier for you. So awesome, man. Well, yeah, Greg, thanks so much for joining us today and for jumping on the podcast. Like I said, I know you're a busy man, but I'm sure everybody listening in just got. I mean, you gave away a ton of valuable nuggets right there.
Thank
And
you very
so
much
yeah,
for having me.
oh, of course, man. And so yeah, thanks again for being here. So before we officially take off, I mean, where can people learn more about you? Where can they find you? Are there any resources or anything you want to give away? Or we also understand if you don't want people trying to find you, trying to hit you up a whole bunch. But we like to leave that up to our guests.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm always available on Facebook. You can always find me. Just search for Gregory Ortiz. I'm friends with probably every other SEO person you know. Just go ahead and you could find me through them because I have it set up where the only way I can receive a friend request is if you know someone that I know or someone that I'm friends with. So just feel free to go ahead and request me. It's not a problem. I do just want to give everyone fair warning. I literally get hundreds of Facebook messages every single day. I eventually get to everyone, but I mean, I get to you at the moment you want me to. So please don't take offense. It's not like that at all. It's just I get so many and I have so many other things going on, including working my day job still. But you can always reach me via Facebook in case you have a question, comment, concern, or if you just want to say hey and just chit chat a little bit. It's no problem whatsoever. I'm a very down to earth guy, so I have no problem just chit chatting with people, no problem. If you need some advice, feel free to just shoot me over as well. If you're ever in need for like any services as far as PBNs go or anything else like that, once again, I do have my service. It's noimitation.com, so you can always go there. to pick up anything that you may need. And for everything else, just feel free to contact me via Facebook. I love helping people. Like, my whole thing is I want everyone that I speak to be as happy as I am now. Like, everyone deserves for their life to change for the better. So this is one field where it's possible. Like, there's so many other industries out there where they've already passed their prime. Like, you can't get in that anymore. And right now, SEO is in that stage where you want to be in it, because 10 years from now, everyone else is going to look on it and be like, oh yeah, you remember what SEO was like 10 years ago when these guys were making a killing? Well, it's happening now. So jump in, join us
Now's
now.
the time.
Yeah.
Now's the time. So, and you said that was noimitation.com. We're going to drop that link off on our website, Dynamic 365, also with the podcast and other show notes. So, guys, if you didn't record that, Greg's website URL, head on over to Dynamic 365. You can click right over there. Greg can hook you up with one of his awesome PBNs, and you can start ranking your clients' sites immediately. Greg, final time, thanks so much for being here, bud. We really
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
it. And, yeah, we'll talk to you soon here.
All right. Thanks so much for having me. Take care.
All right. We'll see you.